Shabbat Shalom, peace and blessings, family, brothers and sisters. Hope you all are doing well this evening. We are back here for another installment of our G.O.C.C. Fit Friday night. All things in relation to fitness and nutrition. And our stream tonight will be discussing all things vitamin A. All right, all things vitamin A. All right, we won't be here very long. These are just really quick, straight to the point, informative videos that we're doing when it comes to matters concerning our health in relation to fitness and nutrition. All right, now, last time we were here for G.O.C.C. Fit, we had spoke about the healing power of vitamins and minerals. Okay, for those who have watched it, you've seen it. We gave a brief introductory presentation to familiarizing everyone when it comes to what are vitamins and minerals, and coming to the conclusion that vitamins and minerals are healing. There's healing power in vitamins and minerals, and we can conclude from that if we aren't getting our vitamins and minerals, it would be the opposite effect of healing, and that would be disease, sickness, and not a healthy state in our bodies. Okay, let me just make sure real quick that the audio is good, video is good. I'm checking here on my end. Looks like the video is good. If there's any issues with the audio, let me know. But it should be good. Okay, I just want to make sure before I get started. So now that we have established the healing power of vitamins and minerals, we now want to go into speaking about each vitamin and mineral specifically. Okay, so when we talk about all things vitamin A, okay, what we want to do tonight is we first want to identify what is vitamin A. Okay, after identifying what vitamin A is, where do we get vitamin A in nature? How do we obtain vitamin A? What are the deficiencies of vitamin A? When we aren't getting vitamin A, what are some signs that we are deficient? And what can these deficiencies lead to as far as sickness and disease? And then also we want to deal with if you're getting too much vitamin A toxicity, and what are the signs of vitamin A toxicity? So now we can start identifying these things in our own lives and in our diets to know whether or not we're eating the right things, and identifying if we are experiencing, and we may be experiencing some things that we didn't know would be a deficiency in a said vitamin or mineral. So, now we're going to deal with everything from A to Z, dealing with vitamins and minerals. As now that we've opened things up with the healing power of vitamins and minerals. And just a disclaimer here real quick before we get started. I'm not a doctor or a physician, so I want to make sure that if anybody who's watching this broadcast, this stream, that you always check with your physician and your doctor first when it comes to any type of nutrition plan, any type of exercise program or anything like that, anything related to your health. I am simply here certified as a physical trainer nutritionist and health coach to just deal with the fundamentals, the basics, the building blocks, the ABCs when it comes to our health. Okay, just general information I think that sometimes we may be ignorant to. And that if we just can gain just these little bitty fundamentals in our education, in our knowledge, that we can then excel when it comes to our health. Excuse me. So, now that we've made that disclaimer here, let's go ahead and go into the information for tonight and for this stream. So what I have here, well, before I go here, let me go. Here. All right, let us first identify what is vitamin A. This is off healthline.com. Healthline.com. It says vitamin A benefits, deficiency, toxicity, and more. Okay, talking all things vitamin A, right? So it says here, vitamin A is a fat-soluble nutrient that plays a vital role in your body. Okay, so we talked about fat-soluble vitamins in our last installment, G.O.C.C. Fit, where we have come to the understanding that there are certain vitamins that are fat-soluble, meaning that they are transported through fats or lipids. Another name for fats is lipids. So there are healthy fats that we must obtain in our diet in order for these vitamins to work. Okay, vitamin A being one of those vitamins. And without these healthy fats in our diets, then vitamins like vitamin A cannot function. They cannot properly be assimilated and distributed to be used within the body. Okay, so it's a fat-soluble vitamin. And I want to go to a WHO PDF, and it is titled Vitamin and Mineral Requirements in Human Nutrition, 2nd edition, by the World Health Organization and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations. Okay, 2004 publication. Now, this is a very scientific, document here. And so I'm just going to deal with some of the things that I have highlighted within this document because it's very scientific. I want to keep things very simple. Okay, and then we'll go back to the other article I had up, kind of a layman's understanding of vitamin A, and kind of summarizing what we're going to read here when it comes to vitamin A in this WHO document. Okay, so as we see here, it says vitamin A. Okay. It says role of vitamin A in human metabolic process or metabolic processes. It says vitamin A, also known as retinol, is an essential nutrient needed in small amounts by humans for the normal functioning of the visual system. Okay, so the first thing we must understand when it comes to vitamin A, that is very important when it comes to our eyesight, our visual system, us being able to see properly. Okay, our eyes, all those things are attached to our vitamin A intake. or lack thereof. Also, growth and development. So vitamin A plays a key factor when it comes to our growth and development. So very important as a child that you are not deficient in vitamin A. It says, and maintenance of epithelial cellular integrity, immune function, and reproduction. Okay, so when it comes to the integrity of our cells, our immune system, and our ability to reproduce as people, okay, to be able to have babies and have healthy babies, vitamin A is very important. Okay, this is what vitamin A does. These dietary needs for vitamin A are normally provided for as preformed retinol, mainly as retinol ester and provitamin A carotenoids. Okay, so let us scroll down here to what I have highlighted. It says here, biochemical mechanisms for vitamin A functions. Vitamin A functions at 2 levels in the body. The first is in the visual cycle in the retina of the eye. The second is in all body tissues where it systemically maintains the growth and soundness of cells. Okay, so by vitamin A functioning on the first level, which is the visual cycle in the retina of the eye, is the reason why if your vitamin A isn't adequate in your diet or in your body, you're going to have issues seen. Okay, your eyesight, your visual, cognitive ability to be able to see properly, all those things are going to be impacted with a lack of vitamin A. So that's one of the main signs if you are suffering from vitamin A deficiency is your eyesight. How is your eyesight? And I'm not talking about someone who needs glasses. Okay, we're going to talk more about what in specific when we're talking about your inability to see properly. Okay. It says here, the growth and differentiation of epithelial cells throughout the body are especially affected by vitamin A deficiency or VAD. Okay, vitamin A deficiency is known as VAD. In addition, goblet cell numbers are reduced in epithelial tissues, and as a consequence, mucus secretions with their antimicrobial components diminish. Cells lining protective tissue surfaces fail to regenerate and differentiate. Hence, they flatten and accumulate keratin. Both factors, the decline in mucus secretions and loss of cellular integrity, reduce the body's ability to resist invasion from potentially pathogenic organisms. So when our cells are breaking down in our bodies and they're not performing in the manner that they're supposed to be performing in, and in this case, through VAD, vitamin A deficiency, it opens up the door for pathogens to come into our body and take control, okay, or break through our defenses. So we're talking about a weakened immune system, which opens you up to get sick, right? Nothing to fight the invaders, the foreign invaders that are there to cause harm in your body. There's nothing there to fight them off. And not just with vitamin A, there are other, of course, vitamins that play a part in this, but vitamin A is just one of the many that has its part to play in this process, okay? It says here, pathogens can also compromise the immune system by directly interfering with the production of some types of protective secretions and cells. Okay? So it's not just with our eyesight that vitamin A deficiency is a problem. It also is a problem when it comes to us from being sick and all different manners of sicknesses, right? It says here, definition of vitamin A deficiency. VAD is not easily defined. WHO defines it as tissue concentrations of vitamin A low enough to have adverse health consequences, even if there is no evidence of clinical xerophthalmia. Okay. So what is xerophthalmia? I'm going to see here in a second. In addition to the specific signs and symptoms of xerophthalmia and the risk of irreversible blindness. So when we're talking about xerophthalmia, you're talking about blindness, okay? Losing your eyesight and it being irreversible, meaning once you've lost it, you can't get it back. So that's the serious risk that we run when we are lacking in vitamin A. Coming down with this symptom. It says non-specific symptoms include increased morbidity and mortality. Okay, so other issues that can arise from VAD is increased sickness or sicknesses. That's what morbidity is. Okay, you have underlying issues, underlying health issues. And you can also die. It can be fatal from not getting vitamin A. Poor reproductive health. Okay, so we're not going to be able to reproduce. Okay, not going to be able to have children. And that goes for men and women. Okay, so for women who are looking to be fertile, maybe you're having issues getting pregnant, definitely women who are married that should be looking to have babies here. Vitamin A could be missing in your diet. You could be deficient, and it could be a big cause of you not being able to reproduce. Same with men. Okay, the men who are married, looking to have children, when it comes to those reproductive organs and fluids not being able to perform their job properly, it could be a decrease in vitamin A or deficiency. Increased risk of anemia. So anemic is someone who is deficient in iron. Okay, anemia, which can be all types of things that happen to somebody who's anemic. Okay, blood issues, which can then cause a person to, one thing that people say all the time is someone who is always cold could be anemic. So something else vitamin A deficiency can cause. And contributions to slowed growth and development. So when a child is young, very, very important years, not only in reproduction, but also once the seed has now come into the earth through the mother and the father, its continued growth and development is very impingent upon vitamin A, or the growth could be stunted. Okay. It says, however, these non-specific adverse effects may be caused by other nutrient deficits as well, making it difficult to attribute non-ocular symptoms specifically to VAD in the absence of biochemical measurements reflective of vitamin A status. Okay. So a lot of the vitamins and minerals work together. Which is the reason why we need a overall diverse diet, a wide assortment of foods in our diets to make sure that we're getting all these things, because just because you may have one of these issues doesn't necessarily mean it's only or it is because of vitamin A deficiency. Okay. So, but it is a beginning of identifying that it could potentially be vitamin A deficiency. Okay. According to geographic distribution and magnitude, now this is 1995, it was estimated that 3 million children have some form of xerophthalmia, or some type of blindness in the world from vitamin A deficiency. Another 250 million are subclinically deficient. So basically the 250 million may not necessarily have xerophthalmia, I hope I'm saying that correctly, that particular irreversible blindness. Okay, there are 250 million who may not have that condition but are still deficient in vitamin A. That's just with children. Okay. It says here, age and sex. VAD can occur in individuals of any age. However, it is a disabling and potentially fatal public health problem for children under 6 years of age. So children under 6, very, very important that they're getting vitamin A in their diet. VAD-related blindness is most prevalent in children under 3 years of age. Okay. So most of the blindness issues are happening under 3. The years of 3 years and younger. This period of life is characterized by high requirements for vitamin A to support rapid growth and the transition from breastfeeding to dependence on other dietary sources of the vitamin. In addition, adequate intake of vitamin A reduces the risk of catching respiratory and gastrointestinal infections. The increased mortality risk from concurrent infections extends at least to 6 years of age and is associated with both clinical and subclinical VAD. Women of productive age are also thought to be vulnerable to VAD during pregnancy and lactation because they often report night blindness. So I don't know if there's any, women who have been pregnant before here who can relate to having night blindness, having difficulty seeing in the dark, or just seeing in general when they're pregnant. And it's because of the high demand for vitamin A, both for yourself and for the baby. And because of the fact that you're lactating. Okay, you're getting ready to breastfeed. And so a lot of vitamin A is also found in breast milk. Okay, because the baby needs that vitamin A. It says here, and because their breast milk is frequently low in vitamin A. Okay, so if you're deficient in vitamin A, then your breast milk is going to be low in it, and then therefore when you go to breastfeed your child isn't getting the vitamin A that it needs, which is going to impact its growth and development. Meaning you're not healthy, the baby's not healthy. Okay, so a lot of times when we're looking for like magic solutions to our health issues, a lot of times it's just this simple. Something as simple as I'm not getting the proper vitamins and minerals in my diet, and I have to change the way I eat so that I can make sure I'm eating foods that have these minerals, these nutrients in them. Not all night blindness in pregnant women, however, responds to vitamin A treatment. Okay, so it's not a one-all to end-all scenario where vitamin A is the solution to night blindness in every pregnant woman, but is a possibility. All right, It says here, pregnant and lactating women require additional vitamin A to support maternal and fetal tissue growth and lactation losses, additional vitamin A, which is not needed by other post-adolescent adults. So while vitamin A is important, it's not as important as you get older. It's not as important if you're not pregnant. It's not as important if you're a child. Okay, but it's still important. But it has to be stressed during these particular instances where these symptoms may be occurring, these issues, or you're pregnant or you have a child. Vitamin A should be a major focus. Okay, scrolling through here. As you can see, very, very scientific. I mean, they have all type of formulas and everything here, but it's I don't think it's that deep for us to know these formulas when it comes to understanding vitamin A or any other vitamin or mineral. But if you like the science and you want to read about it and learn about it, you can always download this PDF, the WHO Vitamins and Minerals PDF, if you want to get that deep into it. Now, okay, so a person says, all right, how do I know if I'm vitamin A deficient outside of the symptoms? Like, what is it that I need to do in my diet, as far as my diet is concerned, to make sure I'm getting the proper vitamin A that I need so that I'm not deficient? Okay, how do I identify vitamin A in nature to know, okay, if I need it, I can go here to this particular food, I can consume this to make sure I'm getting my vitamin A. It says here, sources and supply patterns of vitamin A, dietary sources. Preformed vitamin A is found in almost exclusively in animal products. Now remember, there are two different types of vitamin A. You have preformed and you have provitamin. Okay, and so both are important, and this is the reason why I would definitely speak against someone being exclusively vegan, because when you're exclusively vegan, you're not consuming animal products, and then you're going to be lacking on some of these vitamins and minerals that can't be found anywhere else in nature. Okay, but preformed vitamin A is found almost exclusively in animal products, such as human milk. Okay, so breast milk. The reason why it's important for a woman to make sure she has a diet adequate in vitamin A, so that her milk will have the proper vitamin A in it to then give to her child. Okay. And the reason why she can become quickly deficient in vitamin A, because it's all going to her breast milk. Glandular meats. Okay, so different animal flesh or meat, fish. Says here liver and fish liver oils, especially. Egg yolks. Okay, so eggs have vitamin A. The yolk does, and I know a lot of people they just deal with the whites of the egg, but what we must understand, there's a fallacy out there that egg yolks are bad because they're high in cholesterol. But what we have to understand is that there are two different types of cholesterol. There's a bad cholesterol and there's a good cholesterol. Okay, and so egg yolk have the good cholesterol. And not only that, but egg yolks are filled with vitamins and minerals. It's the most nutritious part of the egg. The egg white is just protein. So if you throw away the egg yolk, you're throwing away all the vitamins and minerals that your body needs to go with the protein of the egg white. Not only that, but egg yolk also, because cholesterol is a lipid. It's a form of fat. Remember, vitamin A is fat soluble, meaning it has to be transported in fats in order for it to work. So the egg yolk is perfect because it has the fats in it, the healthy fats, and it has the vitamin A. So again, when we're going in nature, typically we're going to find things in the proper proportion and proper ratio and profile of what they're needed, because it's coming from nature. Okay, it's coming from the Most High God and His creation, knowing exactly the ratio, what our body needs, and it's going to come exactly the way it's intended for us to get it and be able to be used efficiently and properly. So when we throw the egg yolk out, we're throwing away nature and a part of it that's going to actually help us not be deficient in things like vitamin A. So if you don't eat anything else when it comes to animals, that's fine. Don't dismiss the eggs. I would say at least have eggs in your diet if you're not going to eat animal flesh. That way you can still get your preformed vitamin A. Okay. Also, vitamin A is found in whole milk. Okay. Now, I don't myself personally drink milk. There's various reasons why. But if you do, there are, things that you would want to make sure, like it's organic, that it's, not cows that are being pumped with antibiotics and steroids, and they're grass fed. You want to make sure that the cow's healthy, because if you're drinking that and the cow's not healthy or has all those chemicals and stuff being pumped into it, now you're drinking that. So because of our industry and the way it's set up, I avoid cow milk. Now you have other forms of milk that might be better that come from animals, like goat milk and things like that. Okay, making sure that it's raw, that it hasn't been pasteurized and those type of things. But vitamin A also found in whole milk and other dairy products like cheese. Cheeses, your yogurts, your sour creams, all those type of things. Vitamin A can be found there. Now, preformed vitamin A is also used to fortify processed foods, which may include sugar, cereals, condiments, fats, and oils. So basically, sugar doesn't have vitamins in it. Cereals don't have vitamins in it. Condiments, fats, oils. So sometimes they'll take the vitamin A from an animal source and fortify it, or actually add it to these particular foods, so that you get your vitamin A. Okay, that's what it's saying here. Now, pro-vitamin A, I'm going to talk about pro-vitamin A here. Pro-vitamin A carotenoids are found in green leafy vegetables. Okay, so your spinach, your amaranth, and young leaves from various sources. Yellow vegetables, pumpkins, squash, carrots, and yellow and orange non-citrus fruits, your mangoes, your apricots, papayas. So if you're vegan, you would only be getting access to really pro-vitamin A. You wouldn't be getting preformed. So you'd be missing out on one spectrum of vitamin A. Okay. But here's where you would find it when it comes to the vegetable world. Okay. Red palm oil produced in several countries worldwide is especially rich in provitamin A. Some other indigenous plants also may be unusually rich sources of provitamin A. Such examples are the palm fruit known in Brazil as buriti, found in areas along the Amazon River, and the fruit known as GOCC in Vietnam, which is used to color rice, particularly on ceremonial occasions. Foods containing provitamin A carotenoids tend to have less biologically available vitamin A, but are more affordable than animal products. It is mainly for this reason that carotenoids provide most of the vitamin A activity in the diets of economically deprived populations. So, even though the fruits and vegetables have vitamin A, they're not a high source of vitamin A. It's very minimal. Okay, and so again, if you're a vegan and you're eating only vegetation, then you could run a risk of becoming vitamin A deficient because it's so minimal in fruits and vegetables. It's in higher quantities or availability in animal products, and it doesn't mean you have to eat a lot of animal products, but just that if you're getting at least it at some point throughout the week, then you it may be all that you need, okay, for the whole week. Now let's see if we have anything else here before we go to our article. Again, real straight to the point and short, informative video here tonight on vitamin A. Not something that needs to be long drawn out, but just that we're bringing it to our, bringing it to our mind when it comes to these particular things, vitamins, minerals, what we're eating, so that we can make sure that we're doing our best, putting our best foot forward when it comes to our health and things that we could be missing in life that we're not, so simple that we just maybe aren't aware of or aren't paying attention to, that can be easily fixed to empower our health. Okay. Now, you have toxicity of vitamin A. Because vitamin A is fat soluble and can be stored primarily in the liver, routine consumption of large amounts of vitamin A over a period of time can result in toxic symptoms, including liver damage, bone abnormalities, and joint pain, alopecia, headaches, vomiting, and skin desquamation. Hypervenominosis A appears to be due to abnormal transport and distribution of vitamin A and retinoids caused by overloading of the plasma transport mechanisms. Okay, now I would say it's probably pretty hard to become vitamin A toxic in your body from food. Okay, if you're eating food and you're not just gluttonous and you're just eating, a self-controlled diet of just eating normally day in and day out, almost impossible to get vitamin A toxicity. You'd probably be more so akin to being more deficient than toxic. Where the toxicity comes in is for those people that are taking supplements and they're looking to get vitamin A in their diet and they're supplementing it with a pill. I don't believe that vitamin A needs to be supplemented. Okay, you would have to have more so of some type of issue that's causing you the inability to maybe absorb the vitamin A or use it properly, to where you have to maybe have it in a higher amount for it to actually work in your body, to need to supplement with it. If you're just eating a proper diet, then you should get all the vitamin A that you need, as long as you know where to find it in nature, and make sure you include those things in your diet, and you should be fine. Shouldn't have any issues with toxicity. Okay, so it's not normal. Okay, but when you're supplementing and you're pumping your body full of, 1,000% the FDA recommended amount, and and you're taking that every day or multiple times in a day, yeah, you're going to be running a risk of overload and becoming toxic with vitamin A, because it's more in the body than the body can actually distribute, get rid of. And so now you're having these unnecessary issues happening in your body from too much vitamin A. So let's go ahead now. We'll come back here to Healthline. Okay. So we established that vitamin A is a fat-soluble nutrient that plays a vital role in your body. It exists naturally in foods and can also be consumed through supplements. So this article, which I will give to you all, discusses vitamin A, including its benefits, food sources of the vitamin, and the effects of deficiency and toxicity. So this one's probably a little bit easier to read than the WHO document, probably a lot more scientific there. This is probably a little more layman. Okay, vitamin A, often considered a singular nutrient, it's really a group of fat-soluble compounds, including retinol, retinol, and retinyl esters. Two forms of vitamin A are found in food. We talked about preformed, which is typically in animal products. It's also retinol and retinyl esters. While provitamin A are carotenoids and are found in plant foods, fruits, vegetables, and oils. It says to use both of these forms of vitamin A, your body must convert them to retinol and retinoic acid, the active forms of the vitamin. Because vitamin A is fat soluble, it's stored in the body tissue for later use. Most vitamin A kept in your liver in the form of retinol esters. These esters are then broken down into all-trans retinol, which binds to the retinol binding protein. It then enters your bloodstream, at which point your body can use it. Okay, and of course, these are things that we've already spoken about. What vitamin A does, what it's essential for: cell growth, immune function, fetal development, vision, eye health. Okay, helps protect and maintain the cornea, which is the outermost layer of your eye, and the conjunctiva, a thin membrane that covers the surface of your eye and the inside of your eyelids. Okay, very, very important when it comes to eye health. Also helps to maintain surface tissue such as your skin, intestines, lungs, bladder, and inner ear. It supports immune function by supporting the growth and distribution of T cells, a type of white blood cells that protect your body from infection. What's more, vitamin A supports skin cell health, male and female reproductive health, and fetal development. Okay. Also, the precursors of vitamin A are said to have antioxidant properties. Okay, so now we're dealing with free radicals, and we'll talk about antioxidants at a later date. Okay, but basically, just in a nutshell, antioxidant means first let's look at oxidant or oxidizing. Okay, that means when a cell dies. Okay, and you don't want the cells in your body to die. Okay, the sooner or the quicker cells in your body are dying means the less life that you have left. If your cells are healthy in your body and they're lasting for a long time, that means that you're looking at a long life. So you want things that are antioxidant. Okay. Oxidative stress has been linked to chronic conditions such as diabetes, cancer, heart disease, and cognitive decline. Okay, so getting your vitamin A can help you fight against these particular issues. Okay, it also lowers your risk of heart disease, lung cancer, diabetes. All right, talking about eye health here. May protect against certain cancers, vitamin A, because of the antioxidant properties. So again, we talked about it. The healing power of vitamins and minerals. Okay, is if you're getting them, they're healing you. If you're not getting them, then you're going to open yourself up to be sick. That's just as simple as it gets. Okay, so we want to continue to keep eating Burger King and McDonald's, and we want to take pills. When I say that, supplements. We want to take the silver pill that's going to cure us from whatever we're dealing with and being sick, and because we want to continue to keep eating stuff that's bad for us. It's not how it works. Okay, diet has to change. We have to get it in nature in the way it was intended for our bodies to receive these nutrients. Okay, what else do we have here? It also may inhibit the growth of certain cancer cells, such as bladder, breast, and ovarian cancer cells. Vital for fertility and fetal development. Vitamin A boosts your immune system. B cells and T cells. If you're deficient in vitamin A, it can increase levels of pro-inflammatory molecules that diminish immune system response and function. So the last thing you want to be dealing with in your body is inflammation. You want the molecules there in your body to fight against inflammation. So vitamin A helps to fight against inflammation. Okay, we talked about deficiency. You have infections like measles, diarrhea, anemia, death in pregnant women. You got to keep in mind a woman's and she's pregnant. She's going through a lot. She needs a lot. She needs enough for two people. It's a great strain on her. And so if she's not getting her vitamin A for her and the baby, it could be fatal. It also can slow the growth of the fetus or the child in the womb and its development to where the baby comes out not the size and health that it should, or maybe it's a premature birth, all these things. Okay. Vitamin A deficiency includes skin issues such as hyperkeratosis and acne. Okay, so vitamin A, very, very big on skin health. Also, people with cystic fibrosis, pregnant or breastfeeding are more at risk of vitamin A deficiency. Okay, we talked about the food sources. That preformed is more able to be readily absorbed and utilized by your body than plant-based sources of provitamin A carotenoids. Okay, so not only is preformed, the animal version of vitamin A, in higher abundance in the food, it's more readily absorbed and utilized by the body. A big reason because Animals typically have a level of fat. Okay, plants and vegetables don't have fat. Okay, so therefore, your body can't really use the vitamin A without the fat. Okay, so you would have to include some type of healthy fat in your diet to make sure that the vitamin A that you are getting through plants, if you're only plant-based, is able to be transported and used and taken from the food that you eat. Okay, it says for this reason, those who follow plant-based diets, especially vegans, should be vigilant about getting enough carotenoid-rich foods. Okay, so it says your body's ability to effectively convert carotenoids such as beta carotene into active vitamin A depends on many factors. So if you are plant-based, you would have to make sure that you're focusing in on the foods that are high in vitamin A that are plants. You have to make an extra added effort so that you don't have any deficiencies. We talked about the preformed vitamin A, egg yolks, anything animals, the butter, fish, the cheese, and then provitamin A, plant sources, sweet potatoes, pumpkin, carrots, kale, spinach, dandelion greens, collard greens, winter squash, cantaloupe, papaya, red peppers. Okay. And it says here, just as vitamin A deficiency can negatively impact health, getting too much can also be dangerous. The recommended dietary allowance for vitamin A is 900 mcg and 700 mcg per day for men and women respectively. This intake level is easy to reach if you consume plenty of whole foods. So again, if you're getting plenty of whole foods, you're not going to have a problem getting vitamin A. You're eating junk food, processed food, fast food, yeah, you're going to be vitamin A deficient. Okay, there's no vitamins in that. Typically what they're saying is that if you were to get toxicity from vitamin A, it would come through excessive consumption of animal-based sources like liver. Okay, we know vitamin A is stored in the liver. So if you're eating a lot of animal livers, yeah, you're probably going to get vitamin A toxicity. Or someone who is taking excessive supplementation of vitamin A. Since vitamin A is fat soluble, it's stored in your body and can reach unhealthy levels over time. Okay, so vitamin A is stored. So therefore, it's not like if you miss a day of vitamin A, it's the end of the world. Like today I didn't eat at all. So now I'm in danger because I didn't get any vitamin A or any other vitamin. A lot of this stuff is stored in our bodies. Okay. Vitamin A can be fatal if you take too much. More of a reason to just stick to a healthy diet and not try to cheat by doing supplementation and eating unhealthy. So the most common side effects of chronic vitamin A toxicity, often referred to as hypervitaminosis A, are vision disturbances. So the same way too much or same way as too little can cause problems with your vision, too much can cause problems with your vision. joint and bone pain, poor appetite, nausea and vomiting, sunlight sensitivity, hair loss, headache, dry skin, liver damage, jaundice, delayed growth, decreased appetite, confusion, and itchy skin. Okay. Though less common than chronic vitamin A toxicity, acute vitamin A toxicity is associated with more severe symptoms, including liver damage, increased cranial pressure, and even death. What's more, vitamin A toxicity can negatively impact the health of pregnant people and their babies and may lead to fetal development irregularities. Here's the bottom line for those people who may be concerned they're not getting enough vitamin A. It says here, to avoid toxicity, steer clear of high-dose vitamin A supplements. What that means is, if you take a supplement, and on the supplement it says it has vitamin A, but it's in a small amount because it's a supplement that has other ingredients in it. Okay? Like if you were to take we had Elder Rawchaa on last time, and he had a super green foods supplement that had all different kind of vitamins and minerals in it. Okay, but it wasn't just specific to just one vitamin or one mineral. So if it was a supplement like that, it's not going to be an issue because that is actual coming from food. The issue is when you go to the store and you see on a shelf and there's just a vitamin A supplement and it's only vitamin A and you're just popping those. Okay, that's when you're going to find yourself getting in trouble. So you can take vitamin A supplements. You just got to know the difference between the good ones and the bad ones. Okay. Any vitamin A you get from a supplement should be pretty much very minimal. And you want to get it from your food. Okay. It says here, since too much vitamin A can be harmful, consult a healthcare professional before taking vitamin A supplements. Okay. So before you go and think I need to take just a singular vitamin A supplement, you need to talk to your doctor first to see if that's the right move for you. And that's the right supplement for you. Than just going out and doing it on a whim or for whatever reason. It says here, the bottom line, vitamin A is a fat-soluble nutrient vital to immune function, eye health, reproduction, and fetal development. Both deficiency and surplus intake may cause severe side effects. Therefore, while it's crucial to meet the RDA of 700 to 900 mcg daily for adults, it's also essential not to exceed the daily upper limit of 3,000 mcg. Bottom line, a healthy, balanced diet is a great way to provide your body with a safe amount of this essential nutrient. It's the bottom line. Okay, and it always comes back to nature and what the Creator has given us in nature, and also us, focusing on the whole foods. I know we've been focusing a lot on the, plants, the fruits and vegetables a lot here recently. But when we're talking about fat-soluble vitamins, you do have to have the healthy fats for it to be recognized in the body, absorbed, assimilated, processed, used, all those things. All right, and with that is it for our latest installment of G.O.C.C. Fit, all things vitamin A. I hope that this stream has been edifying for you listeners, those that are listening out here. And stay tuned as we continue to go through the vitamins and minerals one at a time so that you are at least on a fundamental level, are as informed as you can be when it comes to your vitamins and your minerals, how to get them in your diet, where to find them in nature, and to identify if you're dealing with a mild issue. It could be just a simple, I need to make this change in my diet and fix that, and now things are better with that mild issue I was dealing with. Okay, so thank you all for tuning in, those who are listening live and those that may come across this video later. Until next time, may the Most High God keep you, bless you in your health and your body, and your fitness and nutrition. Bless you all. Peace and blessings. Shalom.